I have to bleep that bit out, Lee. It was a really inappropriate language.
Sorry.
What's that?
Look what Adam's bought us.
Adam, thank you very much.
Hey, you know you need to see what happens when I do this, don't you?
Do it to it. Oh, it was really inappropriate and messy.
It's got yolk and everything.
It was like Easter in my mouth.
Did you notice in the documentary?
No.
I'll talk about shouting at the telly.
How just inappropriate every gag was.
Any questions?
I'm Rob Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
We're at Andertons.
I like your t-shirt, Rob.
Thank you.
Tell me about it.
It's about porn. No, it's about Dunlop.
It's about Dunlop, who've been rock and rolling since 1965, and they've basically put a little bit of gaffer tape over this lady's eyes and her naughty region. Like
what they're basically endorsing is bondage porn.
And this one here, where I've got a naked lady sitting on top of a wah-wah pedal, quite rightly saying that the Crybaby
soundtracking porn for over 30 years. 30 years of porn.
Thank you. It wouldn't have been the same without that.
Wait, let me put this beast on standbyage. So
anyway,
we've got the Echoplex preamp.
So, tell me the story about the Echoplex sort of tube echo tape thingy.
Like many things, for example, the current humbucker and the hot rod Chapman guitar, it's a happy accident, Lee.
It's kind of a happy accident, isn't it? So,
because
1959.
You tell them.
1959, a chap, his name was Mike Battle, invented a tape echo unit. Crash. Invented a tape echo unit called the Echoplex. And it was largely sort of regarded as kind of, that was the daddy of all the tape echo machines of the period. Everybody and his dog used this. I've got a list off of Wikipedia from my iPhone, but you're talking about guys like...
Wikipedia is the place that thinks I'm 80. Because there's a Rob Chapman and they've taken my photograph and put it with a different Rob Chapman who is also a musician. And they've said that apparently I am 80 or something. Oh, well. So different.
So maybe this is wrong.
Me.
But we have guys like Dave Gilmore, Gary Moore, Eric Johnson, Dwayne Allman. To be honest with you, the list is mahoosive. It's kind of like a who's who. And interestingly, the although obviously, of course, the echo pedal was predominantly designed to you know, create an echo effect. The preamp circuit within this unit became highly desirable, and a lot of these guitar players would just actually use the preamp section of the Echoplex without the echo, just to kind of like a make it better pedal.
Typical guitar players just finding a little tiny bit of gain or extra sustain anywhere, and then going, I want that in my loop.
Now, Echoplex, the original Echoplex, was finished, you know, went bust many years ago. For a little bit of time, Echoplex was, you might remember, Gibson produced an Echoplex as actually a digital rack mount unit. Bizarrely enough, according to our man on the inside at Dunlop, he said that actually at the time that Gibson did that, Dunlop actually owned the Echoplex brand, but just didn't really know what to do with it and just let Gibson get on with it, which anyway, so Dunlop though have finally in 2014 thought, I know what we'll do. We own it, so we might as well reissue it. There's lots of other brands, or a couple of other brands of pedal making sort of Echoplex clones. So I guess Dunlop have thought, well, rather than allow the clones to sell all the pedals, we might as well just get back into it ourselves.
Don't allow the clones to do anything because
it's
apparently on the Jammy Dodger box of
Where's
biscuit.
your camera?
Wait,
Quickly,
hold
stay there,
on.
Wait there.
YouTube, I'm doing a new thing because we've always had 2 cameras going. And sometimes we just waste a lot of film filming things that aren't cool, and actually it's not as interactive as I would like, because at heart we have a bit of fun here, don't we? So what I thought I'd do is every so often I'll flip on this camera like that, and then I'll synchronise it by order by doing this, and I'll probably have a wait a minute, I'll try again. That's better. Have an explosion happen, and then you can see things that we see, like this, for example, the price on this.
That's how. Spin it round a bit, so to go slightly to your right. That's it. Beautiful.
We've got some more gigs.
So the Echoplex is essentially just a straightforward preamp pedal. It looks cool. It's got one knob on it that goes from 1 to 9 of gain, and it's kind of, that's it. It's just enhancing it. So what we've got is we've got Rob plugged into a Marshall JVM with a Stratomacaster.
Here's my Stratomacaster.
And me plugged into a Hot Rod Deluxe with a Les Paul. And all we're going to do is kind of just show you how it sounds without and how it sounds with.
Also, just to appease the people at Dunlop, we should say that I'm using this
Dunlop Jazz 3.
Because people care, but this is a prototype plectrum, isn't it? I don't think it's even...
It's because it's made of Ultex.
Yeah, it's the Ultex Jazz 3.
And look what the nice people at Dunlop did for me. So here's a Dunlop plectrum, okay? And when I was at the NAMM show, they went, have some of these. Because it's our 50th anniversary this year.
That's nice.
And they went,
well, how thick is that?
Oh, I think I've got all thicknesses back at the store. But
I'll have a really thick one. Why is that funny, Lee? I don't even know why that's in any way.
Because it's reminds me of what you say just before a man's about to insert.
Tell you what, you could film a cool angle from the side. While
I'll film a cool angle,
and then you don't have to do your Lee Anderton dance. Press record and then let the
slap my thigh like Puss in Boots. Dick Whittington.
Like Puss what? Is it recording?
No.
That was a wasted slap. Is it recording? Is it recording now? There you go. That's much better. Hey, how you doing? So, here is a guitar set to a crunch without the Echoplex
Look at all
joy.
the rubbish in the background when we do this.
Don't show them the rubbish in the background.
Look over there. What's she doing?
Don't know why you show them that. That's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you.
Okay.
Here's the rhythm crunch chat. Put it in. Press my joy button. The button of joy.
It is.
It does just enough and no more.
I'm pressing pause. It kind of reminds me, you know, there's this sort of, there's a few pedals coming out now, aren't there? Well, I say coming out, I suppose they've always been around, hence the fact that this has been around since the sort of, you know, the idea of guitar players using the preamp section from the Echoplex since the late 50s. But there's kind of that sort of just, it's that slightly intangible, make it better pedal, isn't it? It's not like I've turned it on and all of a sudden I've got an echo or a distortion or a chorus that I couldn't hear before. You just turn it on and you kind of go, hmm.
Don't record any of this.
It's better. It's a gooderizer button.
It's a gooderizer.
You'd be in the studio and thinking, this isn't good enough, what do I need? The gooderizer.
We kind of had that a little bit with the TC Spark, didn't we? It was the sort of, it's the make it better pedal.
Yes, and I did say, I think this is a mellower, warmer, fatter Spark. The Spark is a fantastic pedal, by the way. This is just a different kind of vibe on that theme.
I like it. I think the Echoplex logo looks the nuts, doesn't it?
It does look, yeah. It looks kind of,
is it true bypassed packet of jammy Dodgers? Packet of jammy Dodgers. Is it true bypass? Helpful. Thanks very much.
behind you. He doesn't know.
It's the EP3's legendary tone, and it says yes on the back of an actual jammy dodger. So, right, okay, so the statistics are, we're basically adding up to 11 dB of gain. It is true bypass, and essentially with at higher levels here, it'll introduce some warm, light overdrive. Runs off of either a 9-volt battery or an AC power supply, as you can see we're doing. It says directions here. To be honest, if you need to read the manual as to how to make this pedal work, you have some severe disability learning
Turn it on
issues.
full. I want to see if I can dime squill. That actually surprised the living hell out of me. I didn't think it was possible with an Echoplex, but apparently I was completely wrong, provided you're playing this lime green Jackson.
So what it basically says is that from 7 and upwards on here, that's when the drive kind of comes in. So, and it does also say for different sounds, try placing the Echoplex pedals after your gain pedals, but before your modulation pedals.
And also take out the top 2 screws, but not the bottom 2 screws.
And always use a cable with a white plastic sleeve on the input or a black plastic sleeve on the output, or change them around to see whether or not that changes the tonality of the sound. Anyway, I'm sure what you're really saying is, could we hear what it sounds like with a Gibson guitar and a Fender amplifier? Oh, sorry. But first of all, let's hear it with a green Jackson guitar.
Sounds really great for like 80s dirty rock.
You're going to have a nightmare cutting this in all at the right
spots.
That's
fine, it's my job.
Right, let me play.
Let's pull. Here's Lee assembling his goodness. That's a lot better, mate. So
okay,
that's the blues driver.
This is a Keeley modified blues driver, in case you're wondering why it's got an extra switch on it that you wouldn't normally see on a blues
By the way,
driver.
we're using a polytune to tune with.
Yeah, periodically.
That's a lay pull. Now what you're hearing there is just the power section being pushed just really, really hard by a thing that pushes it really hard.
So if I pop my blues driver pedal on, and no Echoplex at the moment, so we've got that kind of... And then we pop the Echoplex on.
Definitely one of those things where the player feels it more than the listener hears it. I mean, it is definitely a perceivable boost drive. Can I have a little chop on the lapel?
It's funny that, isn't it? That whole subject of what's the benefit of the player feeling it if the audience can't hear it. But of course, if the players...
Well, it makes you play differently.
Yeah, it makes you play differently, doesn't it? I remember being at a Larry Carlton guitar clinic, and someone asked that question, you know, kind of what happens to him when he's really happy with his tone, and he kind of looked, you know, he's just like, well, obviously I play better. So it's kind of like, well, therefore anything that makes you as the player feel like you've got a better tone, regardless of whether the audience can hear that, is kind of irrelevant, really.
Well, no, I'm all confused because
what do you want to do?
Well, I want to put this through the Marshall with the Echoplex.
Well, then you'll need this end,
okay,
I think, plugged into the Marshall.
This just to say, this happens all the time, but you never get to see it. Is we get really confused about where cables are, and then we end up plugged in 7 times the wrong way around in different places.
Hang on. So plug that in the Marshall. Plug this into the Les Paul.
Okay.
But you don't want the blues driver on, do you?
No,
you just want the,
I've got a Marshall on a crunch setting.
I've got it.
I've got one built in.
We turn the blues driver off, sorry. Play Misty. That's without. Let's just get this going.
Ready?
Hang on, slap my thigh. Hold on. Do it. Ow! What have you done? Pop the string out into another slot?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know, I
took it out one hole, I put it in a different hole, but I wanted it in. So it's.
I think that's I think that's about the best we've ever heard this Marshall amp sound.
I think you might be right. That's a surprise. Les Paul and a Marshall with an overdrive pedal. This is a really cheap Les Paul though. So
yeah, it's cheap one.
Anyone can.
It's all dinged up.
Yeah.
It's all dinged up.
I think they started selling second-hand gearly.
No.
When did that happen?
Don't know.
But yeah, just goes to show with a really cheap.
Oh, do that again. The flame just leapt out.
Did it leap out?
Keep going, keep going.
Rawr!
There's the leap!
Rawr! Like a lion. Just goes to show with a really cheap, affordable Les Paul and an even more affordable pedal, you can. What's that label?
That's where it's second-hand.
I thought it was. You can get a great tone. Surprise, surprise. Anyway,
bye-bye.
Bye. Hi.
So, hi. Hi. I'm Richard Madeley. This is my wife.
I'm
Finnegan.
I'm Adina Menzel, and trying to find gravity.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes. Bye.
So just before we go, I better tell you how much this costs.
How much it costs, Lee?
This is 115 of your hard-owned UK sterling pains. And comes with free delivery from Andertons Music Company.
And the on or off feature is part of that price.
It is indeed. And that's it really. So we've enjoyed this. It's a good start to the day. That's a good omen.
Yes.
Anyway, right, I've been the captain.
Bye.
I've done to my finger.
Lee, what have you just learned how to do?
Well, apart from literally lacerate the end of my finger off, but Adam's just showing me some sort of... So when you're doing that kind of...
Don't show everyone.
And then... Some...
Do you know what they call that?
What, a B-bend?
B-bending.
B-bend, yes. I kind of do... I'll practice, it'll be better next time.